There's a statement I want to say. You might think it's sad. It's so much to the women. You might think, if you hear me with your head, you miss it. If you hear me with your heart, you get it. Can I make it? I'm asking permission. I will wash my hands after this. Can I make this statement? Can I make this statement? Who was in the Garden of Eden first? So who knew how to work first? Who had God first? Who worked the garden first? Who walked the garden first? Okay. Who knew animals first? Who called them first? So let me tell you, women. Can I say this statement? You know, the strength of every creature is within the realm that creature was called to operate. The minute you leave your base, you leave your strength. Do you understand that? Just like our deputy president, he left his base. So what he left behind was a strength. He can no longer, no cars, no what. The strength was taken out because that base, it is that base that makes you strong. So women, your strength is not in your capacity to lead, but in your capacity to help. Now, the minute you decide you are not going to help, that you want to lead. Now, I need to explain leading. That doesn't mean you can't be a president. That's not leading. You can be anything that God has called you to be. That doesn't mean you can't be the owner of a company. That's not what I'm saying. Those are minor things. Your position, what God designated you to be, is what? A helper. The minute you decide you are not going to do it, what you have done is that you have sold your strength. You have sold it. So let me tell you something, women. Since this man had met God, was in the garden, was working and everything, that woman, her work is to study this man. Women, hear me, because you will keep making mistakes in marriage. I'm married now, I think almost 12 years. I think I know something. I've seen so many women fight for something that was never in the mind of that man. That's why you notice you encounter that man in the negative way. Your job is to study where he needs help, not where you want to help. You have the capacity, but you study his area of help. No company employs what he doesn't need. For example, we have advertised HR and you are coming as a plumber. You want to help the company as a plumber. We don't have a space for a plumber. But I know you won't hear. When you wake up, you study that man every day. What help does this man want? That means you are righteous to God. Because you're operating in your function. But the woman will come with where she wants to be helped. So, was I a helper in the beginning? Answer me. Am I a helper? I'm a man. Am I a helper? So that's why we will fight. Because you want me to do what I'm not designed to do. I'm not the helper. I am the source. You are the helper. None is superior. Are you getting it? You can't help what doesn't have a head. Any idea without a head, brain, should never see the light of day. Your job is to study that husband you have and find out where does he want help, not where do you want to help. But I know you won't hear. You know, the good thing is that I'm no longer the pastor of welfare. Asumbuliwe huko. So if you won't hear, you will end up here in his office. And then you will end up here with a tissue. What we have done is that we have invested a lot of tissues because we've noticed people like crying. So we've given him a budget. So when they start talking, the first thing is just, Bishop Howard, With a minute you just say, Shika. Because we warned you, you did not listen. You just like going there on Java and cheating each other. That you are the star. Without you, I can't breathe. 2 minutes later, you are even breathing with your mouth. Forget your nose. Your mouth is breathing. I can't breathe without you. No, bro, sister. And you buy it. You know, women, you shock me. No, let's talk women. You really buy that he can't breathe without you. Okay, when he's writing that text, is he not breathing? I will rather lose everything. Me, I cannot. How would I lose everything? Okay, if I lose everything, what will be your part? What will I give you? He's always working. Oh, go ask women that are not married if they would complain that my husband is always working. If you meet a man working, thank God. One time my program became too busy and I told my family, instead of complaining, let me show you wisdom. Are you listening, you people? Uko nyuma, munasikia? Don't just have, a beautiful woman is not beautiful by face, but by character. What makes a man beautiful to a man is character, not your face. So you spend so much time putting makeup and not developing the right heart. So one time I noticed, then I told my family, let me give you wisdom. Because you know my program is busy. What is wisdom? The area of help that I need. Imekuja tena. Superstar. Because you know the area, you know that thing wants to be a superstar by force. Because you know the area of need, let me show you how to be wise. Dress those children and bring them to my office. Stop creating traps for people to fall in so that you can have something to blame them for. You become the wise one, especially as a woman. You say, I know your dad is busy, but I know where your dad works. Ingeni kwa gari. When that man sees that, you are helping him. Even if it was a weakness, you have taught him something. But some of you, you trap him because you always want a problem. You are not wise. I told my family, bring the children to me. Help me. And the children came. So they normally now come and hang in my office. So the time I would have spent with them at home is just a building. What's important is who is in the building. Bring my children to me. Because can I tell you, greatness has its own consequences. One of them is that time is taken away from you. Greatness controls your time. So even if you want to do something, sometimes it's difficult. So if you are the wise one, you gather those children and bring them to that man. That's what you call a helper. Can I guarantee you, 95%, and I'm saying this with all humility, of women cannot meet that, cannot match a helper. Can't match it. Let me even not go to the men, because they're even the worst ones. It is written that a man that doesn't provide is worse. You know what it means? You know what is infidelity? Think about infidelity, because when you say infidel, that's infidelity. No, wait. Is infidel infidelity? So what's infidelity? That means sin is in layers. Sin is not sin. What is infidelity? If you are worse than an infidel, what does that mean? So when God looks at a man that can't provide, and it's not bothering you that you can't provide. It's not bothering you. It shocks me. I don't sit with my wife to plan who is going to pay. That will never happen. It has never happened in my marriage. And by the grace of God, I pray that it will never happen. I don't sit to plan. As for me and my house, serving God is not what I ask her. It's what I tell her. As for me and my house, we will serve them. That is the only option my house has. My house, I've not given my house an option. Do you feel like? We don't care what you feel. Serving God cannot rest on the feelings of man. That you may know him, not that you may feel him. When you create that as a boundary, the children grow with fear, fearing the Lord. That the Bible says that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Advice. Financial advice. Before you invest, take advice. Before you run for an office, take advice. Before you marry, take advice. Before you do, take advice. Sit down with someone that has gone ahead of you. The Bible says, what about faith? Those who by faith have gone ahead of you. Notice by faith. So be advised by people that serve the same God. You can't advise me when you don't serve God. Because your advice is carnal. You can't go anywhere beyond earth. By faith have gone ahead of you. By faith. They used faith to achieve their results. Do you understand that? They use faith, not connection. Faith. That you can see God throughout their increase. You see God littered in their increase.